My people, my name is Marindo. Thank you very much for turning into my channel. If it is your first time coming into my channel, thank you very much, and do not forget to hit the subscription button. It's a red button underneath. Subscription is free. If you are my old subscriber, thank you very much for being a family. Today, a long time I'm not done sitting video, but today a friend of mine called me, and it's a topic that called for attention. My people, she told me about this a family that something just happened. She told me like a week ago, and I made a video. For some reason, the video deleted from where I saved it. I don't know what happened, but I had to redo it. Thank God I redo it, because she called me the second time to give me the complete story. She told me about this guy that had an accident. I'm from Cameroon, that's West Africa, that's closer to Nigeria, and they are fighting war in my country, the French and the English, so the country is not very peaceful. She told me about this guy that he's an Anglophone, but you know, because of the struggle, the Anglophones run to live in the Francophone zones, so he was staying in Douala with his family. And this guy decided to build another house. They had like a family house, like behind the house, like a boys' quarter. And he always come late, and told the wife that I won't be coming early, don't expect for me, because I'll always come late. So he always sleep like behind when he comes late. He doesn't, because he claimed he doesn't want to come in the main house and disturb the wife. So the wife became used to it, and the wife will like just not wait for him and just sleep, and the next day she goes to work and meet him again like during the day, and that's how they've been living. They had 4 or 5 children, if I'm not mistaken. My people, when I heard that, that's how bubbling the girl was. The girl even told me it was bubbling. She told me, now let me bring it out for men to stop cheating on their wife, and for men to respect their women, because we didn't even know that she herself didn't have the correct information about the story. But she came later on and told me that why this guy was behaving like this is because the mother-in-law was pressurizing him, and the mother-in-law was very demanding, like asking a lot of you some money. Then the mother-in-law come and live with them. She wants to make the decision what they will cook, like what they are going to cook, what they will not cook, what the color of their blind will be. So and the boy got fed up of it, and he did not even confide to his friends. He just smiled. That smile, everybody knows that he was happy in his family, in his house, but he wasn't happy. He was not happy. Then when he died, that's when everybody came to know the truth about it. My people, what happened to this guy is that he went to see off, like he went out, let me just say he went out in the night like usual. He told the wife that don't wait for me, I won't be coming, I'm going to be late. As usual, she went and slept. As she got up in the morning and went to her business, her usual, whatever she was doing, she went to follow up her own business that she's doing. During the day, she only got a phone call that her husband is in the hospital. This husband of his had an accident in that night time when coming back home, and he fell from the bike and hit his head on the stone. But while crying, one other man saw him and took him to the hospital. You know how the country is now, all those corruption, everything, the rioting is too much, and the nurses did not pay attention to him. So he was there crying. While bleeding there, he died. But before he died, they took his phone to call, but they called a family friend. They could not get to the wife. My people, if only this man was in peace with the wife could have called him like, wait, that's my husband. 10 o'clock, where's my husband? And who knows, somebody could have picked that phone, because money was not their problem. They are very wealthy, and somebody could have come and they could have called the wife, or the wife could have called and someone could have answered that phone, and they could have taken him to another better hospital. I'm sure that it's just suspicion that might be bleeding, internal bleeding when he fall from that, when he hit his head. So my people, all these things happen because he didn't have peace in his house, and he did not know the right way to solve it. He keep running away. So sometimes we cannot run away from our problems. We cannot try to avoid problems. We need to solve the situation. If only he didn't call for family meeting and talk to them that, please tell my mother-in-law to leave my marriage with my wife. They could have spoken to their mother. Maybe the mother could have listened, maybe she could have not listened. Then the girl also took side with her mother on her own part. She too, she became a widow with 4 children. The mother-in-law who was also demanding, what is she going to do now? Who is going to be giving her all that money that they were requesting from? So my people, sometimes we need to stay out of the business when concerned to people. Even if it's your child, it's not your child, a family member, you need to stay out of people's business. You need to stay out of marital problem. Now this mother come and involve and all the rioting. Then men need to speak up. Most of the time, men don't want to talk. That's why you see a lot of things are happening, because men keep a lot of bitterness. Men, you need to speak out. You need to go to counseling. If you have a pastor, you need to see your pastor. You need to talk to somebody. They say a problem speaking out is a problem half even solved. Just someone to listen to you. There's a proverb that when I was little, they talk about this guy in a village that saw the king. The king had a head of a dog, like a dog found. And the king, but nobody knew about it because the king always wear that crown. But back then the king would go to shower in the river. So when the king pulled off that cap and he saw the king head, he could not keep it by himself. So he had to run to the river and say, river, river, river. The king head is a dog head. So sometimes you cannot keep, because he said, my people, that's why we cannot be keeping things all by ourselves. We need someone to help with us. We need counseling. A problem share is a problem solved, especially to the right people. This our brother kept all by himself. He didn't disclose to anyone what he was passing through in his marriage. He didn't look for help. Sometimes we need to look for help. Just avoiding like his own house, his own family. That will not help. Sometimes men don't know how to handle situation better. Men cannot handle more stress. Cannot really handle stress like women. Women handle stress. Don't you see what women pass through in the hands of their mother-in-law? And they still stand there. You will not even know anything is happening to them if they don't open to confide to you. My people, I'm not saying this to blame anybody, but it's just a lesson for anyone listening who is married to know. For everyone, for the mother-in-law, for the daughter-in-law and the son-in-law. For the mother-in-law, do not intervene into your children's marriage. Let them be. You had your own life. Let them have their own life. For the daughter-in-law, for the wives, don't allow your parents to come and take control over your marriage. Even your husband is the one that is quiet, who does not really talk. But some men don't really talk. They are just quiet, or even when you say something, they dive inside and pretend to be quiet. My people, you cannot do that as a woman. Even for the son-in-law, when you have a problem, you cannot afford to keep quiet, to run away from your responsibility, run away from your family, run away from your children, and just let everything be like that. My people, this our brother, his death was so sympathetic. His death was so sympathetic. My people. His death was sympathetic, very sympathetic. For a young man to lose his life and left behind children and a young widow. Do you know what will become of those children? They are growing up without seeing daddy. Oh, my people. Our consulate. That's why when they told me I had to come out to share it to my people, the lady kept calling me, kept insisting for young people, young marriages to hear this, for mother-in-law to hear this, son-in-law and daughter-in-law, all of us who are in marriage to learn from this, to learn from other people's mistake, my people. And then we know that most men Sometimes they don't appreciate their wife. They want to appreciate their wife only when something have happened to them. I also same other this scenario that this husband always say the wife was the worst thing that ever happened to him. But when he was put into a situation that he was put in jail, and the woman was the one who had to look for a way to take him out of that jail. In jail, that's when he starts saying the wife was a good woman. So sometimes men want things to happen to them before they appreciate their woman or whoever they are with. My people, as married people, we need to appreciate one another. Women, appreciate your husband. Husband, appreciate your wife. In our own little ways, we know all of us, nobody is perfect. We make mistake. Marriage is a growing process. In our marriage, we are growing. It's a learning process. Nobody is a prof, or nobody is say that has made it or has arrived. All of us, you learn. The person you have stayed for 30 years, you might think you know that person, but you don't even know the person. So only God can know who a human being is. That's why we just pray for our partner, and we hope for the better. We wish for the better, because only God knows the mind of each and every one. So we need, after he was put in jail, he began to cry and say, my wife is a better person. My wife is a better person. Man, even the Bible says if you treat your wife better, God himself will answer your prayer. Women, I always say that no matter how ugly the other person is, they do your part as a good wife, as a good husband. You are going to receive your payment from God. I'm telling you. The Bible says give. Whatever you give out will come back to you. Being positive or negative, you're going to face the consequences. My people, marriage is the most beautiful thing that God created. But it needs a lot of tolerance, a lot of patience, a lot of forgiveness, as I said. Most of the times, especially in this country, people just leave because they want to pay their bills together. They want to fulfill. They live like to pay bills together. Then in Africa, most people just got married because it's a norm. Everyone is married. They want to be married. And they are not happy in that marriage. Happiness is something that we can create. You say, I got married to her, I don't love her. You can love her. I don't love him. Love grows. Love does not come overnight. So the more you live with a person, you study one another, each time the love begins to grow between both of you. My people, we need to grow our love for the sake of our children, for them to see their parents being happy. Because sometimes it's always how parents behave. Their kid will grow up and don't want to have husband or wife because of what they say, which is not true. You still have good people, you still have good wives, you still have good men, good husband. My people, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you if you are listening to me. Thank you. If you have not subscribed, do not forget to hit the subscription button. My people, if you have subscribed, thank you very much. You cannot afford to watch all this all by yourself. Help me and share. Marindo, I come with scenario like this. My people, see you in my next video. Thank you very much. Marindo, thank you. Share, please help me to share.